Back on Sportsbit, Pauly and Teddy, at Pauly Howard on Twitter, at Teddy_covers. Here we go, the deep dive every Monday. It's college football. For only the second time in the history of the sport, number 2, 3, and 4 all lost on the same Saturday. $100 moneyline parlay on Iowa, USC, and Pitt paid $44,000. This from PredictionMachine.com. You had 11 dogs of 7+ or more that won outright, Teddy. What was the biggest surprise to you? To me, it was Michigan losing at Iowa.
Of course, and especially the way that Iowa looked. I was surprised that the Wolverines couldn't get anything going offensively against that. I mean, Iowa didn't move the football. Michigan's defense was fine. But the Wolverines, after that initial touchdown, they did nothing. But they hadn't really been tested on the road all year. When you get tested on the road, this isn't the NFL. College football, when you're young and you're immature and you haven't been in these situations 100 times before, sometimes it gets to you. And that definitely happened to the Wolverines on Saturday night.
Yeah, and hey, Clemson, you keep screwing around. That's going to happen. How about Clemson? Michigan, 3 touchdown favorites. They get beat. And I'll tell you, it's time to adjust your power ratings. USC, we knew they had a ton of talent. They are playing great football.
That team, I mean, let's put it this way. It was the worst game that I've seen Washington play all year. But USC forced them to play that bad. I mean, USC was dynamite in that ballgame, no question about it.
Yeah, can't believe how many times Browning just tripped and fell in that one.
Browning had a rough day.
He was horrible.
As I've seen him play all year.
Oh, horrible. All right, bad beats. Here's Penn State, a team trying to make the Big Ten title game. They were down late with 4 minutes left, and they went by 14.
Yeah, I mean, Indiana gives away 10 late points. They failed on 4th down, and then they had a strip sack. And then, of course, the fumble return touchdown in the final seconds. Penn State -7. Yeah, they're down by 3 with 4 minutes left. They win by 2 touchdowns. Never in doubt. Brutal if you had Indiana.
Yeah.
Just brutal.
Yep. Here's another one. Tennessee laying 14 against Kentucky. They're up 49-22 with 4 minutes left. Oh, no. Kentucky with 2 late touchdowns. They lose by 13.
Yeah, and then that line bounced around 13, 13.5, 14. Ends up, with the Vols winning by exactly 13. Tough beat if you laid it with Tennessee and you didn't get the best of the number.
And here it is. Even the viewers were tweeting us about this one. Louisiana Tech and Texas San Antonio. This was a roller coaster. You could actually say it was a bad beat for both sides. What the hell was Skip Holtz doing there at the end?
Oh, my God. So Louisiana Tech's up 28. They could have clinched with a field goal. The field goal get blocked in return for a touchdown. And then, the Roadrunners score another touchdown to close it to 14. And then you have an onside kick return for the touchdown. Those are brutal. You get about 1 or 2 of those every year. The onside kick for a touchdown, you're like, and then, of course, Louisiana tacked on 1 TD in the final seconds. And Skip, he was running hurry up with 5 seconds left.
Running a hurry up, I know.
It was baffling. But La Tech -2, 22.5.
Oh.
This is now 6 straight wins and covers for the Bulldogs, and every one of those games has cashed with the over. La Tech and over has been the underrated story of maybe the entire college football season.
Yep, UCLA laying 12 at home against Oregon State. They get the pick 6. That's karma for what happened against Stanford as UCLA gets the money there in that one. Bad beats, well, here it is. Let's get to the bad beats. We've talked about this a lot. This is a tough day for the totals team. Pitt, Clemson, over. Forget about it. The under never had a shot. You were cooked in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, there was a ton of total steam. Wise guy moves that went the wrong way. Now, Pitt versus week 1 versus Villanova stayed under the total. Since then, they have not just gone over the total, they have flown over the total every single week. They've been in the 70s every single week. Look at the chart. Do you see any totals? It's in the 70s? Nope. Under money again last week. They keep betting pace on Pitt. It's not about pace. It's about offensive execution. Let's give Pitt credit. They played a great game on offense, and they cashed another over ticket, and I don't know why they keep betting on it.
Yep. NC State Syracuse, 7-point move with that total.
Yeah, 55.5 up to 62. The game falls 55. Bettors didn't factor the proper impact of quarterback Dungy missing for Syracuse in terms of either effectiveness or pace. They had to slow it down without their starting QB.
Bad bets continues. The Louisiana Tech total bet from 71 down to 63 fell 98, and Michigan was bet up to 24 against Iowa, Teddy.
Yeah, that was minus 17.5 all the way up to 24. There was like 3 or 4 different moves on the Wolverines over the course of the week. The wise guys loaded up on Michigan. The public loaded up on Michigan. And this, one of the best games of the season for the sports book, certainly in college football.
Yes, and bad for the books. They got middled here with the Navy game. It lands 2.
Oh, yeah, that's brutal. Navy bet from -1 to -3. Tulsa loses by 2. And, some shops were at Tulsa -1 or pick 'em during the week. Everyone else was in the middle. And late bettors picked off some +3s to win there also. So, yeah, that was a bad result for the house.
Yes, and Old Miss bet down to 7 from 11 to 7 against A&M. A battle of the backups, and Patterson leads a huge comeback on the road.
Yeah, the big fourth quarter rally. They were down 15 points. They ended up winning the game outright. And when there's a 4-point move and you win the game outright, yeah, the books never like that result.
Yep, they got caught in the middle of this one too. South Carolina. Florida wins 20-7.
Yeah, they got caught in the squeeze. That was +14.5 at the open. It closed +12.5. So the dog money won. Then at -12.5, the favorite money got a chance to win. Yeah, when it lands between the opener and the closer, that tends to be a very bad result for the bookmakers. I don't think you're going to hear anybody talk about how great that South Carolina-Florida game was for the house.
Yeah, bad for the books. Boise State bet up from 18 to 22. They crush Hawaii. Oklahoma bet up to 18 against that flat Baylor team. They win 45-24. And how about the Pirate again and Washington State, the get-out game? We talked about it here on SportsBit. They are running the ball. They have a decent defense. They've won 8 in a row, and they thumped Cal, Teddy, and there was more Washington State money.
Yeah. Oh, -15 to -17.5 for Washington State. They blow out Cal. I mean, Cal made a ton of mistakes in that game. A couple of demoralizing miscues in the red zone early. But the Cougs just ran them out. Boise -18 to -22. Oklahoma -14.5 to -18. All of those bets, good bets, and the books paid the price by cashing all those winning.
And one of the best coaches in college football that no one talks about, Bob Davie at New Mexico. He took over a program that went 1-11, 1-11, and 1-11. They win again. They're going back to a bowl, and they beat Utah State on the road.
Yeah, and a ton of Lobos money, +2.5 to -1.5. The under got bet 63.5 down to 57, and both the New Mexico money and the under money was correct. Odds makers had a bad read on that game all the way around. The Lobos made the sports books pay like they've done pretty much nonstop for the last month and a half.
We ripped Cal and Oregon, and rightfully so. Put Arizona in there, too, with their horrible defense in the Pac-12. Colorado went over. Bad for the books, too.
Sure, Colorado bet from -15 to -17.5. The over from 57.5 to 61.5. 49-24. Favorite and over, the worst combination for the books. They got stung badly on that game.
Hey guys, for the full video, go to sbrpicks.com.
Go to sbrodds.com. Browse, compare, and shop live odds available at top online sportsbooks.